Imagine a cold morning, pale sunlight filtering through the dusty curtains of a small house. Maria, 68 years old, sits motionless in an old armchair, her empty gaze fixed on nothing. Once, she was a vibrant woman, always bustling with energy, caring for her family, hosting lively gatherings with friends. But now, after her husband's death and the growing distance from her children, she feels trapped in a bottomless pit. Each breath feels weighed down by an invisible boulder. Every passing day, a battle against despair. She no longer wants to live. This isn't a rare tale. It's the harsh reality faced by millions of older adults worldwide. Depression in older adults isn't just the fleeting sadness we all experience from time to time. It's a ruthless monster, imprisoning their souls in darkness, stealing their joy, their sense of purpose, and sometimes even their lives. What's truly terrifying is how society often dismisses it, chalking it up as a normal part of aging. But no, depression isn't an inevitable companion of growing old. It's a serious illness, a silent crisis quietly destroying countless lives. Did you know that about 7% of people over 60 worldwide are grappling with severe depression? That number could be far higher, as depression in older adults is frequently overlooked or misdiagnosed. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, it's a silent epidemic spreading unchecked, yet it barely registers on our radar. While we fixate on heart disease, diabetes, or cancer, the mental health of older adults gets shoved into the shadows, leaving them to bear their unspoken pain alone. What makes depression in older adults so dangerous? It's the way it hides. Not everyone cries or openly expresses their sorrow. Many simply become emotionally numb, living like hollow shells with no interest in anything. They don't speak up, they don't ask for help, and so we, family, friends, society, unwittingly let them sink deeper into the abyss. Depression, also known as major depressive disorder, isn't a fleeting sadness you can brush off with a warm cup of tea. It's a severe mood disorder that seeps into every corner of the mind, paralyzing emotions, shattering willpower, and completely altering how a person perceives life. For older adults, it's not just a passing gloom. It's an invisible enemy, often masked by the guise of aging. Many assume sadness and hopelessness are natural as we age, but that's far from the truth. Depression can strike anyone at any stage of life, and in older adults, it often shows up in subtle ways. A loss of interest in life, unexplained fatigue, or even physical complaints like mysterious aches. These signs are easily ignored or blamed on old age, leaving the sufferer to spiral further into darkness without the support they desperately need. Depression isn't weakness. It's a critical medical condition that demands attention and timely treatment. Here are the common types of depression in older adults, each with its own devastating impact. Major depressive disorder is a brutal form, with symptoms lasting at least 2 weeks, rendering daily tasks impossible. For older adults, it might look like profound despair, a hollow emptiness, or a complete loss of life's meaning. They might refuse to get out of bed, stop talking to loved ones, or lose the ability to care for themselves. Activities that once brought joy, reading, gardening, chatting, become unbearable burdens. It feels like they're trapped in their own bodies, every move heavy and pointless. Often mistaken for memory issues or chronic illness, this disorder goes undiagnosed and untreated far too long. Left unchecked, it can lead to dire consequences, including thoughts of self-harm. Therapy, medication, and family support are vital to pull them through this mental storm. Then there's persistent depressive disorder, or chronic depression, a lingering sadness stretching over 2 years like a shadow that never fades. Unlike its major counterpart, it's less intense, but insidious enough to erode their enjoyment of life. In older adults, it might show as apathy, a sense of worthlessness, or a lack of drive to engage with the world. They might still manage daily chores, butt stickiness, but everything feels flat and colorless. A person who once loved cooking might keep at it, but the aroma and taste no longer spark joy. Over time, They withdraw from social ties, retreating into a self-made prison of isolation. Its prolonged nature makes it easy to dismiss, but its toll is real, slowly sapping their ability to savor the precious moments of later years. Depression linked to substance use ties into alcohol, drugs, or painkillers. Crutches some older adults lean on to escape reality. Facing losses like a loved one's death, declining health, or feeling forgotten, they might turn to these as a temporary reprieve. But instead of freedom, they dig a deeper pit of despair. A drink might dull the pain for a few hours, only for them to wake to doubled emptiness. Painkillers prescribed for physical woes get misused to numb emotional agony. This vicious cycle worsens depression and ravages overall health. Many hesitate to admit this dependency, making treatment a steep uphill climb. Early intervention, blending detox with psychological support, is crucial to break this spiral. Depression tied to medical conditions pairs with illnesses like stroke, cancer, or multiple sclerosis, turning physical suffering into mental torment. For older adults, chronic or terminal diseases don't just weaken the body, they assault the spirit. A once active person might plunge into depression after a stroke strips away their mobility. Cancer, with its grueling treatments and looming dread of death, can make life feel worthless. Multiple sclerosis, eroding bodily functions bit by bit, breeds helplessness and hopelessness. Physical and emotional pain intertwine, forming an endless loop. Victims wonder, why me? Or what's the point of going on? This type demands a holistic approach, treating the illness while tending to the mind. Family and medical support can spark light in their darkest days. No matter its form, depression in older adults is an invisible foe that must be confronted. It doesn't just steal joy, it threatens their quality of life. The key is recognizing that it's not an inevitable part of aging and that, with proper care, it's treatable. Depression doesn't strike randomly. It's not a passing breeze that casually sweeps up older adults. It's fed by deep, jagged wounds in their lives. Sharp, unseen blades slicing into their souls until nothing remains but darkness. These aren't mere risks. They're silent killers, quietly caging them in misery unnoticed. For older adults, these cuts grow even deadlier because they often lack the strength or means to fight back or cry out. Picture living with the unrelenting pain of cancer or the paralysis of stroke. The body weakens and the spirit crumbles alongside it. Chronic illness isn't just a health issue for older adults. It's a slow execution of their psyche. Every day brings tormenting pain, bitter pills, and endless hospital visits. Someone once proud of their vigor now lies still, watching life slip by through a foggy window. Cancer gnaws at their flesh, but depression devours their will to live. A stroke robs them of walking, talking, and self-care, leaving them feeling like a burden. These ailments don't just wound the body, they sow despair, making them question if survival holds any value. The death of a spouse, friend, or child leaves a void nothing can fill, a gash that never stops bleeding. For older adults, losing loved ones isn't just grief, it's the collapse of their entire universe. Imagine someone who spent decades with a partner, sharing joys, sorrows, and simple meals. When that person dies, they lose not just a companion, but a piece of themselves. Laughter in the home turns to dead silence. An empty chair at the table stabs them daily. Losing peers plunges them into solitude, with familiar conversations gone forever. Worst of all, losing a child, a nightmare no parent should endure, can snuff out all hope. Every sweet memory becomes a dagger to the heart, making depression their sole companion. As age hampers connection, they're abandoned in utter loneliness, a hollow house, a phone that never rings. Older adults face unwanted isolation. Kids busy with their own lives, friends passing away, and bodies too frail to step outside. They're locked within four walls, each day a dull echo of the last. No voices, no smiles, no life. A silent phone stands as a symbol of neglect, as if the world has turned its back. Social isolation isn't just the absence of people, it's the absence of purpose. With no one to talk to or lean on, they wonder why they even exist. Studies show loneliness doubles depression risk in older adults, making it one of the sharpest blades on this list. Unable to move or enjoy past passions, they feel useless, imprisoned in their own flesh. Aging brings physical decline, aching joints, fading muscles, and diseases like arthritis or osteoporosis that turn motion into ordeal. Someone who loved park strolls, tending flowers, or chasing grandkids now sits powerless, staring at a world beyond reach. This immobility doesn't just weaken the body, it crushes the spirit. They lose joy from pursuits that define them, replaced by feelings of futility and redundancy. Why live if I can't do anything? Echoes in their minds, a refrain of desperation. Lack of movement isn't just physical, it's a gateway to depression, locking them in a jail with no key. Some turn to alcohol or drugs to numb the pain, only to carve a deeper abyss. When life grows unbearable, losing loved ones, illness, or isolation, they might seek solace in substances. A nightcap to unwind becomes a daily bottle. Painkillers for ailments get abused to dull inner torment. But the cruel truth is these offer no fix, just a fleeting illusion. When they wake, the sorrow hits harder, laced with guilt and shame. Addiction doesn't just worsen depression. It wrecks their health, trapping them in a relentless spiral. Sadly, many shy from admitting this reliance, pushing help out of reach. These aren't mere risks. They're lethal, invisible blades poised to strike anytime. For older adults, they're deadlier still as resilience and resources dwindle. Understanding these threats is the first step to shielding them from depression, a foe we can't keep ignoring. Depression in older adults isn't always obvious. It's not like in the young, with tears streaming, complaints ringing out, or blatant pleas for help. For seniors, it cloaks itself in a subtle, quiet shroud, fooling family, friends, and even themselves into missing the enemy gnawing at their soul. They don't sob in your presence or wail about their woes as we might expect. Instead, it creeps out in ways that seem ordinary, brushed off as just aging. But make no mistake, these aren't natural wear of years. They're desperate warnings we in society ignore. Lasting over 2 weeks, these aren't just signs, they're death knells for their mental well-being. As if all joy's been drained, leaving an empty husk, feeling hollow is one of depression's scariest marks in older adults. Picture someone who once roared with laughter playing with grandkids or spun tales of youth. Now frozen, eyes vacant, staring into nothingness. No emotion, no hope, just a frigid void in their soul. They might mutter, "I'm fine," when asked, but their voice lacks life, a robotic echo. This isn't mere sadness, it's the total loss of life's meaning. In older adults, this emptiness gets mistaken for age's fatigue, but it's really a mind fading away. Unseen and unaddressed, this chasm widens, swallowing them silently, leaving a living body with no spark. Fatigue with no cause grips older adults in depression, their bodies leaden as if chained, despite doing nothing all day. Envision a morning with sunlight flooding the room, yet they're stuck in bed, too weak to rise. It's not from overwork or late nights, just a body and mind refusing to move. Every step's a war. Every small task like brushing teeth or eating a Herculean feat, loved ones might call it laziness or old age weakness. But the truth cuts deeper. Depression's draining their life force. This exhaustion isn't just physical. It's a soul depleted, bereft of drive. Ignored, it pushes them to abandon even basic needs like food or hygiene. Losing interest is another heart-wrenching sign, as cherished hobbies, reading, gardening, grandkid playtime, fade to distant memories. Think of someone who spent hours tending flower beds or beamed when a toddler hugged them. Now, the garden withers untended, favorite books gather dust, and children's giggles prompt turned heads. It's not that they won't, it's that they can't. Depression's stolen their capacity for joy, turning life's wellsprings into pointless weights. Family might label them bored or grumpy, but they're caged in a gray world, colors erased. This isn't just dropping hobbies, it's dropping life. Unhelped, they retreat fully, existing as soulless shadows. Thoughts of death, the most alarming symptom, creep in silently, and into it all seen as escape from suffering. In older adults, these ideas don't always spill out in words or bold acts. They won't scream, they want to die, but their eyes betray resignation. Their tone hints at distance when future's mentioned. Living longer's pointless, might slip out, a casual phrase masking a final plea. Depression convinces them death's the only relief from unbearable pain, that they've lived enough and the world's done with them. This isn't selfishness or frailty. It's a mind tortured too long without rescue. If they hint at death, even faintly, don't dismiss it. It's the gravest warning, a signal they teeter on the edge, where delay could spell irreparable tragedy. These aren't just symptoms, they're bleeding wounds on their souls, overlooked under excuses of age or apathy. They don't weep or beg like the young, but that doesn't mean they're not in agony. Spotting and acting on these signs isn't just duty. It's the only way to yank them from darkness before it's too late. Depression isn't their choice, but helping them is ours. For those with Alzheimer's or related dementias, depression isn't just a risk. It's a chilling reality. About 40% of dementia patients also battle depression. Sometimes it's the first hint of dementia, a red flag we miss until it's far gone. Newly diagnosed dementia patients face even higher suicide odds, grappling with the truth that memory, their lifeline to existence, is slipping away. Imagine the terror of knowing you will forget your dearest ones, even yourself. It's a wordless anguish, a nightmare older adults endure alone. If you got an older loved one fighting depression, don't stand idle. They need you now more than ever. Urge them to seek help. Take them to a doctor, convince them they deserve a better life. Stand by them. Join them at appointments, share in past joys. Even a short walk could pierce the gloom. Listen hard. Don't shrug off talk of sadness or suicide. A tough talk might save them. The good news? Depression's treatable, even at its worst. Options abound. Therapy offers a safe haven to unburden and heal inner scars. Antidepressants balance brain chemistry, restoring hope day by day. Electroconvulsive therapy steps in when all else fails, a potent fix. Transcranial magnetic stimulation, cutting edge and painless, reawakens their minds. But timing's everything. Don't let them suffer in silence. Every delayed day robs them of a chance at real living. Though we can't fully block depression, we can cut its odds. Movement, a brief stroll, works wonders. Healthy eating fuels body and soul. Connection, a call, a hug, a smile, can fend off loneliness's grip. Sleep, nature's balm, soothes a weary mind. Depression in older adults is a humanitarian disaster we can't keep ignoring. It's not a sign of weakness, but a testament to human fragility. We must shatter the silence, smash the stigma, and rise for those like Maria. They've spent lifetimes building this world. Now it's our turn to give them back hope, life, and love. Act today. A call, a hand, a kind word could be the light they need to pierce the dark. Don't let them fight alone. They deserve to live, truly live, to their final breath.